Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome back to our channel once again. Eliud Owalo yesterday officially declared his bid for the presidency of the Republic of Kenya in 2027.
You know, I also have a political history. Over the past 15 years or so, I've worked tirelessly and diligently for individual politicians in this country. I started off with Raila Odinga, where I was heading his presidential campaign in 2013. Head of Presidential Campaign Secretariat and Chief Campaign Manager. At that point in time, I was working for Raila, Kalonzo, and Wetangula, who are all principals in that coalition, the Code Coalition. Subsequent to that, I moved to NC, and I worked closely with Musalia Mudavadi as one of his closest confidants and strategists. Later, and most recently, I've worked diligently with President William Ruto, all the way from 2019 to date. Good people. Good people. It is not wrong to take. But only a fool makes the same mistake twice and yet expects different results.
Do you think Eliud Owalo can succeed where Raila Odinga failed on multiple occasions? And to show his seriousness, Eliud Owalo went further and resigned from government. And what most of you guys don't know is that there is deep politics behind the move by Eliud Owalo.
I've worked for each and every politician worth his salt in this country. And I've done my bit. But come 2027, I want to change the paradigm. I will not continue working for political individuals, but I want to work for the Kenyan people, the Kenyan masses. And in that regard, informed by lessons I've learned in the past, emerging issues in the operational environment, feedback I've received from various stakeholder fora, which I've held over the past 1 month, including but not limited to Nomiya Church, which is my church of birth, a church which was started by my grandfather. I've today made a deliberate and conscious decision that cometh the year 2027, I'll be submitting myself as a candidate for purposes of the presidential race in the elections for purposes of the presidency of the Republic of Kenya. To facilitate this, we must also open up. Deliberately and consciously, we need to open up the political space to allow for real multi-party democracy to thrive in Nyanza just the same way it's thriving in the other regions. We cannot be in a multi-party era, then we continue subjecting the people of Nyanza to a political monolithic, where one political party has got monopoly power and is lording it over everyone else.
Ladies and gentlemen, after making that declaration, Eliud Owalo went further and resigned. Let me read for you his resignation letter, because in this video, I want to reveal to you guys the deep secrets behind Eliud Owalo's move to contest for the presidency. Resignation as the Deputy Chief of Staff, Delivery, and Government Efficiency. Following my earlier declaration today that I intend to run for the presidency of the Republic of Kenya in the year 2027, my position as the Deputy Chief of Staff and Government Efficiency is no longer tenable. I have therefore resigned from the position with immediate effect. Ladies and gentlemen, why do you think Eliud Owalo is running for the presidency? I've seen online some people suggesting that ni mchezo ya town, that it is William Ruto who has released Owalo to go and contest for the presidency of the Republic of Kenya. But for me, that is not the case. As a matter of fact, Winnie Odinga now has the chance and the opportunity to join the government to take over from Eliud Owalo. In this video, I want to reveal to you guys why Owalo has actually declared his bid. Because according to Owalo, he's banking on two things. Eliud Owalo is banking on the Nomiya Church. According to his own estimations, he believes that the Nomiya has a population of between registered voters 3 to 5 million. And because he's associated with that church, he believes that he can use those numbers to win the presidency. He's also banking on the support of the Gor Mahia support base. Remember, Eliud Owalo has really supported Gor Mahia. That's a fact. And currently, he is the patron after Raila Odinga passed on.
It is with great humility that this afternoon I accept my appointment as deputy patron of Gor Mahia Football Club. I must thank the club leadership, the management, the players, the fans, and the entire Gor Mahia fraternity for bestowing upon me this privilege of serving this club, which I've associated with since my childhood days, in the position of deputy patron. In the same vein, let me acknowledge with gratitude the role that has so far been played by the patron of this club, Honorable Raila Odinga, over the years in supporting the club.
But the question remains, can Eliud Owalo succeed in his bid? And why is he running? Before we get into all those details, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. Because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, allow me to dive in. Why do you think Eliud Owalo has resigned to run for the presidency? Number one, Eliud Owalo has been very angry and very bitter with William Ruto. Remember, after the Gen Z protest, William Ruto was forced to collapse the entire cabinet. And when he made new appointments, Eliud Owalo was not lucky. So from that point up to now, Eliud Owalo has been very angry and very bitter with William Ruto. William Ruto tried to accommodate him as the deputy chief of staff. But that position, as much as it might enjoy a lot of benefits and the rest, is not as powerful as the position of the PS, as the position of the cabinet secretary. And Eliud Owalo felt that he was the right person who delivered for William Ruto in Nyanza. So he wanted to quit the government. So he found an opportunity, because even in Kenya Kwanza, he's being overlooked. And those are the signs. For those who follow the politics of the Republic of Kenya very closely, there is a time, I think was it last month, when there was this war between Raymond Omolo and Gladys Wanga. Gladys Wanga then went and brought Owalo as a sign of fighting back Omolo.
Now, kingpin for what? Now, why can't these guys be kingpins for development? Yeah, I mean, leadership is supposed to be about service delivery to the people. But if you want to be a political kingpin in total disregard to the needs and challenges facing the common mwananchi, to me, from where I see it, it is a zero-sum game. Yeah, you are not worth being called a leader. So let us not be preoccupied with political kingship. Yeah, because it is not serving the interests of the common mwananchi. In fact, if we were not to have a political kingman or kingwoman, but we facilitate tangible development of the people, so be it. Because that's what the interest of the people is. We want to see roads, we want to see water, we want to see electricity, we want to see revitalization of the sugar belt, yeah? We want to see upgrading of the Kisumu International Airport, we want to see fish processing plants along the lake, yeah? That is what the people are interested in. And the focus and mindset of the voter in this region should also change. Let us vote in people who are preoccupied with service delivery to the people by way of tangible development projects, as opposed to mere political rhetoric.
So the truth is, in government, William Ruto now prefers working with Raila Odinga, considering the fact that Eliud Owalo is no longer cabinet. And that's something which Owalo is not taking lightly. So he wanted to resign, and now he has used that opportunity to resign. Number two, this Raila Odinga succession politics in Nyanza. And several people are positioning themselves to succeed Raila Odinga. Raila Odinga's succession is within ODM party and outside ODM party, as far as Nyanza politics is concerned. Eliud Owalo worked very closely with Raila Odinga in 2013. And after he left, most people believed very closely that Eliud Owalo was actually forced out of Raila's circle because there were people who were not comfortable with him because of his brand of politics, that he was likely to succeed Raila Odinga. So he's always believed that he can succeed Raila Odinga. So his move to resign is as a result of this succession politics. He wants to run for the presidency, then probably position himself as the next Luo kingpin. I don't know whether he can succeed because already we have Oburu Odinga. Babu Wine is positioning himself. I know David Oching of Kenya is also trying to position himself to succeed Raila Odinga. Raymond Omolo is automatically the senior most government. Raymond Omolo strategically is working behind the scenes. And if you move around the villages, his name keeps on popping up. So Raila Odinga's succession politics in Nyanza is the reason why Owalo is running for the presidency. He wants to move ahead of the rest. Number 3, and this is the main reason why he has resigned. And he mentioned it during that press interview, that he learned his lessons. Eliud Owalo wants to directly negotiate with either Ruto or even with Rigathi Gachagua. Because if he will run for the presidency, and let's say the Nomiya Church will give him the 3 million votes, and let's say the Nomiya Church will give him 1 or 2 seats, then he can negotiate. We saw Alfred Mutua negotiating for his position. As we speak, Alfred Mutua is still in government. We saw Justin Muturi negotiating for his own position. He only had 1 MP. We saw several others, people like Kingi, and they're safe. Eliud Owalo, who worked under UDA, has been kicked out. So he wants a situation where he will be able to directly negotiate. And in my view, and this is what I believe, which is my 4th point, Eliud Owalo is positioning himself to work with the opposition. Let me explain why. You see, so many people believe that the opposition, the united opposition, will defeat William Ruto. As we speak, if you look at Nyanza, strategically, if you look at Nyanza today, we have UDA, we have ODM. ODM is the dominant party. So which means the competition in Nyanza is not very stiff. So if he forms this party, then he can conveniently negotiate with the opposition. Because on the other side, strategically, the competition is very low. It's likely to even sit on the table. I'm sure if Owalo were to announce today that he's joining the united opposition, Rigathi Gachagua will pull a seat for him and he will sit next to Rigathi Gachagua, Kalonzo Musyoka, Eugene Wamalwa, Fred Matiang'i. He will easily find a space at that table compared to this other side. On this side, it's Oburu who will find the space. I don't know where Owalo will fall, but I doubt if he will find space on that table. And lastly, William Ruto reduced the roles of Owalo. The moment he was kicked out as a cabinet secretary, his value reduced. And, you know, being a Luo, sometimes it's not comfortable taking certain, that Eliud Owalo is not being sent to Raymond Omolo. Enda kwa Raya kusaidia hiyo maneno. You know, ama enda kwa nani, who is also in government from, enda kwa Mbadi. Ama enda kwa Wandai. Owalo cannot. The Eliud Owalo, you know, most of you don't know. But for me, I worked with Eliud Owalo. Of all these political players, I think one of the people I've worked very closely with is Eliud Owalo. He's a guy who cannot take those things lightly. Until next time, this is Makwiny. Bye-bye.